Yo, what's good, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another one of my videos. And on today, I'm going to be talking about the amazing interview that the cast of Sisters did on the Tamron Hall show. You guys have to excuse my voice because I am in the midst of getting over a cold or whatever it was that I had, and I'm not 100% yet. So this is what I sound like. So I apologize, but y'all just gonna have to rock with it, okay? Um, I am incredibly late with doing this, but I said I was going to give my thoughts on this interview, and I wanted to honor and keep my word. Like I stated a few moments ago, this was an amazing interview. If you have not listened, I'm going to pin the link in the comment section. I advise you, encourage you to just listen to it because a lot of times we don't get an opportunity to get all five women together. And with this interview, we actually did. And it was amazing seeing all of them together in one place at one time, which was a plus within itself. Now, what I love most about this interview with Tamron was the fact that she acknowledged them as individuals instead of just focusing on their characters on the show. Now, of course, she gave them their flowers and their kudos for the success of Sisters, but what was even more powerful was that she went down the line and spoke to each and every one of them individually about what she witnessed on their social media platforms, which I thought was good because I think sometimes when you play a character and it's probably the biggest character you've had to date, that's what most people know you for. And sadly, people want to put you in a box or categorize you in that way, kind of, put you in a position to kind of lose your identity in the sense of you come on interviews, you do different shows, and they really don't acknowledge you. They want to talk about who you play more than you as the person. So Tamron gets major kudos from me for not doing that. And it was beautiful watching their responses, listening to them, how they interact with each other. It was just a beautiful moment. And I'm glad that we got an opportunity to witness it. And as I stated, she went down the line and talked to them about the various things she noticed on their social media platforms. And whoever the producer is, they did their due diligence. They did their due diligence. With KJ, she talked about, her marriage and her wedding to Sky. Mignon talked about sharing the things that God was revealing to her on her social media platform, that it wasn't just for her, but it was for everybody, whoever's in her realm of influence. With Crystal, they discussed her Keep It Positive Sweetie podcast. Novi spoke about the word for her life this year, which is flourish. Anybody who follows Novi on social media, that she's really into, horoscope, zodiac signs, all of that. That's not really my thing, but this may be a odd, but this is a thing about me. I cannot really care about something or know much about it, but I have a thing where I love listening to people talk about what they love with such passion, regardless if I know what the hell they talk about. And Novi, like I said, she is so into this with affirming and affirmations and words of positivity and things of that nature, which I think is amazing. And I just love listening to her be herself and getting a glimpse of how she functions as an individual. So I love it. I saved Ebony for last because her moment was sad yet beautiful at the same time. Tamron brought up the recent passing of her mom, and of course she became very emotional. And Novi immediately began to rub her back, and Mignon instantly touched her arm, and they all became emotional. They were crying, and it was just a moment of reflection. I don't have that story where I've lost my mother, but I know many people who can share in that loss. And I thought that that moment was so beautiful because Ebony had the opportunity to share that with the women who she considers her sisters. And I love how she mentioned that, amongst the cast, that she is the youngest and everyone there were her big sisters. And we got an opportunity to see how they rallied around her and comforted her. And it was a true depiction of love and sisterhood. One of the reasons I feel like that was so special and so necessary is because of the characters that they play. And sadly, you have people who cannot or choose not to differentiate between the actors and the characters, because we see it countless of times where across social media people will say, I've never seen Ebony and Crystal take a picture where they're standing next to each other, or in a video where they are interacting, which there are many receipts all across social media that proves that to be a lie. And sadly, it's black women who depict this picture of divisiveness amongst the cast. So it's always amazing watching them, seeing them, the camaraderie, the love, and the genuine sisterhood that they exude. Because sometimes, which I think is the case for sisters, their characters overshadow who they really are, which it shouldn't even matter, because as an artist, that's what you do. Which I want to thank someone by the name of Melissa and everybody. There were many people who sent me the link to this interview when it first came out, so I greatly appreciate it. But Melinda asked me a question, which I thought was very interesting. And her question for me was, do you find it difficult to connect with the women personally due to the characters that they play? And Melissa, this is no shade to you, sis, it's not. But I think that there are people who do struggle with this. And my response is absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'll just use Novi for example, because I've seen many of her lives. And when I'm watching her, the farthest thought from my mind is, oh, that's Sabrina. I don't even think about sisters when, she's engaging with people. It's Novi, or it's Ebony, or KJ, or Crystal, or Mignon. I don't look at them as their characters, because I know very well Crystal isn't Fatima. I know that KJ isn't Andy. I know that Novi isn't Sabrina. I know that Ebony is not Karen. And I know that Mignon is not Danny. And I think that once people choose to look at it for what it is, that they are artists and what they are doing is their job, it's part of their careers, and they do an excellent job, if I do say so myself. But no, it does not cause me to look at them differently. If anything, it just causes me to celebrate them more, because they're doing what they're supposed to do, getting the response they're supposed to get, and it's working out for their favor. So again, this was a great interview. I appreciate Tamron being intentional, the producers being intentional about how they produced this segment. It was beautiful. And yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Again, y'all, I know I sound probably stuffy as hell, and I'm sorry, but this is what you got. This is what I got to work with right now. So this is what you go get. But I appreciate you guys for listening. Until next time, I will holler at y'all later, and y'all be safe out there.